Okay. So the warm up for today is 100 jumping jacks, 30 squats, 30 lunges, and 15 push ups. Alrighty, neck rotations. Other way. Yeah, why is it hurt? Up and down. Side to side. Ear to shoulder. Shoulder circles. Backwards. Cross your chest. Over your head. Butterfly. One leg out. Look towards your legs and grab. Elbow inside, same leg, reaching over. Other side, looking towards your legs and reaching forward. Elbow on the inside, over. Both legs out, reaching forward. Both legs in, reaching forward. Straddle and then pike. This middle one, a little tough. From here, we're gonna go into downward dog. I'm just gonna roll on over. Downward dog, not very graceful. Right leg up and through. Right arm up. Switch arms. Both arms down, back knee down, straighten the front leg. Stretch this already, but let's stretch deeper. All right, come back up, fold that leg in front of you, scoot back, reach forward. Come back up to downward dog. Left leg up and through. Left arm up. Left arm down, right arm up. Both arms down, back knee down, straighten the front leg, reach forward. Come back up, hold that leg in front of you. Reach forward. Come back up for the downward dog. Drop both knees for frog. Lean forward for cobra. Sit back for child's pose. And time. All right. Hip escapes. Actually, no, it's just you. So, do some surfing on your dummy. However you want to. I know that that's not really much instruction, but you have your dummy in front of you, so you can just do some surfing. right, since we're still in the warm-up section of this, we're gonna do some dummy deadlifts or pop-ups or whatever you wanna call them. You can hold the collar or the belt. Enough. We're gonna start from here, just pop up. You wanna do it from back here, behind the legs, pop up, you do the whole entire thing. Basically deadlifts. Collar, arm. Start from the knees if you're gonna do the whole break. Let's do like regular ones for now. Yep, keep going. All right, let's do the whole movement, not just the deadlift part. Let's go from our knees, double collar, grip, sleeve grip, here, up, up, other side. Double collar, hand across. You know, they would have their legs around you. Step up, step up. You're in this deadlift position. Posture up and keep the arm. If you want, you can step over, get that arm bar. If you felt like it. It's not really practice. Do a few more on that side. And then we'll do some. All right, time. Let's do some chokes. Okay, so we're gonna do the choke that we did on Wednesday with their gi, the 2 chokes. But you should grab your own gi top. Okay. All right, you don't have to put it on right now. So the first one that we're gonna do is the one where you take. Start from side control. Take their outside lapel, pass it. This arm goes underneath, catches it, and then you're gonna go do the paper cutter. Paper cutter, I think, Joe. Is that yeah. And then the second one to that is you would grab them, lift them up, put their shoulder underneath your chest, drop, and elbow at their neck and hug, pulling the lapel. So you can start this from side control or from north-south, but you're basically pulling that lapel underneath their arm. This arm is going to catch it. I'm going to drop my shoulder into their chest, and then I can finish the first choke by grabbing the lapel, 4 fingers in, and just dropping my elbow to the ground. And the other one, if I'm in north-south, I'm going to let them come up to their side. I'm going to pull them all the way to their side, drop my chest onto them, and then elbow to the head, hug, and then squeeze. Yes? Yes.
I made it press button.
Start it from. So if you're starting so if you're in side control, the outside lapel of that person, you're gonna go underneath the head. This hand that's closer to the legs goes underneath the head to grab the lapel. And then the other hand is gonna grab the paper cutter. Yeah. Start it from north-south. It might be easier to start it from north-south just because you can be here, pull out the lapel, push it underneath the head. This arm then goes underneath the head, and I'm going to drive my shoulder in, lifting up my legs past that, pulling their head up, passing it. And then I would go inside it. Drop that shoulder. He needs the dummy. He can take it. Uh-huh. Oh, you got knee pads on. Well, I would just stuff it. Yep, 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 yep. Underneath the head. Drop your shoulder into their chest. All of it's dropping your shoulder into the chest. You're just being annoying. Then go, yep. And the second one is the huggy one. Yeah. And you're dropping your chest, dropping your knees. Yep. Yeah, dropping your hips. Yep. Just hugging. That one's shoop. My eyes look real swollen on camera. Continue. All right, let's work on our own lapel one. Go get your, put on your gi top. Okay. So in terms of referencing my lapels, this is going to be my inside lapel. This is my outside lapel. And that's really just because I like going beach body and I like thinking of this as my inside lapel and my outside lapel. My outside lapel at times is way easier to get into like a position. But if I'm starting in side control, both my inside and my outside lapels are readily available. So I have regular side control here, and I'm gonna get my inside lapel, the one closer to the legs, and I'm gonna pass it to the hand that's underneath the head. Here. The first submission that we're gonna do, they're basically the same, but one is high and one is low. And really your reference point is, yeah. So this one's gonna be the low one where I'm gonna go totally north-south. We're both totally north-south. So I'm gonna go here and I'm going to keep my elbow bent. So this one is my elbow is completely bent and I'm driving my shoulder into the side of their head. So inside lapel, driving my shoulder into their head, and I'm gonna go north-south. And then I'm going to, this arm that will annoy me, I'm just gonna try to push. And I'm just gonna keep my elbow bent and pull myself back and pop choke. So that's the first one. So that one is a low choke. I'm going low towards my legs, further away from them. The second one, same low or bottom side lapel, passing it to the arm, but instead of going low, I'm going to go high. I'm gonna put my elbow, or not my elbow, my shoulder at their hip, or my head at their hip. Here, I'm going to straighten my arm so that I'm holding the lapel and straightening my arm so they're going to run into my forearm. Here. As I'm extending, I'm going to straighten my arm. I'm going to try to get my shoulder onto the mat here. belt tap before that. So that's the second one. The second one, I'm going in towards their legs. The first one, I'm going out towards my legs. The second one, I'm going in. First one, I have my elbow bent. The second one, I have my arm straight. Yeah? Okay. One more time. So I'm getting my inside lapel, and in side control, I'm going to pass it to the hand that's underneath the head here. The free hand is now going to go on the hip. This is the first one. I'm going to keep my elbow bent, my shoulder pressure into their neck. I'm going to scoot myself away from them, keeping my elbow bent, my shoulder in their neck, and I'm going to clock my way towards their head. My elbow keeps, or my shoulder keeps pushing into their neck. This hand is just keeping them from chasing, so I'm either pushing their arm down or pushing their hips. I'm basically trying to keep them from moving with me. Here. The second one, I'm not even letting go because it's the same setup. It's that bottom lapel. So from here, once I pass it, I'm going to straighten my arm as I turn north-south to them. I'm going to drop my head by their hip, and my intention here is to drop my shoulder to the ground while keeping my arm straight beside their neck. Here. Dropping my shoulder to the ground is my intention. That's the second one. Yeah? Let me see. Mhm. Yep, that's the first one. Driving your shoulder into the side of their head. Dropping your hips. The second one. The second one, come on. Second one, do the same setup. I'll walk you through it. Same setup, bottom lapel. Pass it to your hand that's underneath the head. Yep. So now you're going to go to north-south, but you're going to straighten that arm with the lapel. So straighten it instead of bending it, but now turn into north-south. Yep. You're going to get your head by their hip where your hand is now, your head by the hip on the ground. Head on the ground by the hip. Keep that arm straight. Yep. And your intention here is to put your shoulder on the ground, your left shoulder, while keeping your arms straight with the lapel. Yeah. Belt tap. First one's good. Do both sides. Are you ready to move on? You're like Jessica Jonesing it right now. Very Jessica Jones. Anyway, let's move on. So next one is the upside, like the top lapel. So if this is my bottom lapel, this is my top lapel. Boop. Right? So it's the one that's on top when I'm facing them. Here. So I like going into beach body for this. This is going to be too many steps, but let's just say I'm going to have my top lapel. There it is. I'm going to pass it to my opposite hand just so I can put my hand back underneath their head and grab it. Right? And come back into side control. So without doing all those steps, I can also just be in side control if my lapel, I can fed my lapel through. It's the one closer to their head. That's not going to happen in reality, but let's just say it's right there. So now I have my upper lapel underneath their neck. I am going to go north-south like I did earlier. I'm going to drop my head, my shoulder onto the mat. That is not going to get them to tap out. So I'm going to roll. So I'm going to put my shoulder on the mat like I did earlier, but because it's my up lapel, it's still loose. So I'm going to roll. Roll over that shoulder. They'll come up and they will probably tap before this point. If not, you're just going to hug them. Once you're hugging them, they'll tap out. One more time for the first one. My upside lapel is going to go underneath the head. Here. I'm going to go north-south, drop my shoulder to the mat, my shoulder closer to them, and do a roll over that shoulder. I get here. If they haven't tapped out by now, I'm going to hug them. Yes? Right. So I'm in side control. I've gone beach body. I pull my lapel out. It's all the way up here. They can't do shit about it. I'm going to pass it to this hand. I'm going to pass it close to their shoulders so they can't even catch it, supposedly. Then this arm goes back underneath the head, and I'm going to go grab that lapel. I'm going to turn north-south and drop my left shoulder, my shoulder closer to them on the mat. I'm going to keep holding on to that lapel. I'm going to do a roll, preferably not rolling onto their legs, but if I do, I'll scoot out, skip escape onto the mat. Once I'm here, I'm going to come up towards them and hug them. Mm-hmm. If you can find a way to not roll onto them, that would be better. That means just going beyond like 180 north-south, just turning more. All right, Sarah. It is 7:23. We did go over a 45-minute mark. Come on now. Come on. Okay. So I'm going to eliminate the first thing. So we're going to do 2 straight rounds of crunches. No 10-second in between, just crunches the whole way through 2 rounds. And then we're going to do leg lifts. And then we're going to do a side plank hip drop. Both sides. Then we're going to do Superman hold, Superman, then Superman look backs. Yeah? 2 straight rounds of crunches to start with, okay? You're looking at me like that, but I don't know what that means. Ready? Okay, that's too loud. Okay. After this, into the second round. Right. Next are leg lifts. All right, next are side plank hip drops. Other side. Next is a Superman hold. Superman hold. Next are regular Supermans. Regular Superman up and down. Changing the last one, so roll over, we're gonna do toe touches, side to side toe touches. For these guys for the last set, for the last round.